أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويل للمطففين الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون ليوم عظيم يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين. كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين وما أدراك ما سجين كتاب مرقوم. ويل يومئذ للمكذبين الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين. كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون. كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون ثم إنهم لصال الجحيم ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون. كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. ومزاجه من تسنيم عينا يشرب بها المقربون إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين آمنوا يضحكون وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فكهين وإذا رأوهم قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين. فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون على الأرائك ينظرون هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وظل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء، وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء، وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء، وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء، وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء، وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء، وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء، وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء. يا نور يا قدوس، يا نور يا قدوس، يا نور يا قدوس، يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء، اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك، وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك، وأسألك بجودك أن تثنيني من قربك، وأن توسعني شكرك، وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني، وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا، وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته، وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته، وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك، وعلى مكانك، وخفي مكرك، وظهر أمرك، وغلب قهرك، وجرت قدرتك، ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا، ولا لقبائه ساترا، ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت، سبحانك وبحمدك. ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي، وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي، كم من قبيح سترته، وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلته، وكم من عسار وقيته، وكم من مكروه دفعته، وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي، وأفرط بي سوء حالي، وقسرت بي أعمالي، وقعدت بي أغلالي، وحبسني عن نفعي بعد آمالي، وخضعتني الدنيا بغرورها، ونفسي بجنايتها، ومطالي يا سيدي. فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي، ولا تفتحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري، ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي كل الأحوال رعوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك، أسأله كشف ضري والنذر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي، ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهواه وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك، وخالفت بعد أوامرك، فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك، ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاءك، وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مدعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني، ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري، وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي، يا من بدا خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي. هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك بي يا إلهي وسيدي وربي. أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك، وبعد ما طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك، ولهج به لساني من ذكرك، واعتقده ضميري من حبك. وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك، هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته، أو تبعد من أدنيته، أو تشرد من آويته، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة، وبشكرك مادحة، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى سارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب، وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه، يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته، فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه، ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك. وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي، فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستقيم. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أذج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر على النذر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجاء عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأذجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفطراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك، تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يذج إليك ذجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك، ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك، فباليقين يقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاهديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماءك، أقسمت تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا، وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما، أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها، وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته، وكل ذنب أذنبته، وكل قبيح أسررته، وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلته، أو إحسانا فذلته، أو برا تنشره، أو رزقا تبسطه، أو ذنبا تغفره، أو خطايا تستره، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة، وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا، يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، قو على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في اتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في المبادرين، واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد ومن كادني فكاده واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نسيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخسهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك وعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأقلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم العجابة فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا صابع النعم يا دافع النقم يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
إن الله ملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
Respected scholar, my elders, brothers, sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Surah Fatiha is requested for all the names listed on the screen and Kul Marhamin Al-Fatiha. Ayat Ma Yujibun is requested for all the names listed on the screen and whoever is in need of it here and elsewhere. We will recite this together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amman yujibul mustarra idha da'a wa yakshifu su. Amman yujibul mustarra idha da'a wa yakshifu su. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا وطبيب ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين واللعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد. مؤمنين مؤمنات, brothers and sisters in Islam and Iman, Salamun alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our series is entitled Adopting an Islamic Lifestyle, and the subtopic that we are addressing is, does Islam actually offer us a full, complete way of life? Is Islam something that's part-time or is it full-time, right? Is it this minimal understanding or is it a maximal understanding? We started discussing how this question even arose, right? So we did a little bit of a historical discussion. We started from the Middle Ages last week. We talked about what happened during the Middle Ages. We talked about how people interacted with and affiliated with religion, what happened during that time, the church's corruption, people's moving away and towards science, away from religion, and that started to bring up other questions and doubts in the minds of individuals. So what we'd like to do today is continue that discussion. We're going to move on to the scientific revolution, that age. We will also try to bring out some points of reflection from these two eras, from both the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, and the scientific revolution as well. Then after that, we'll have a short quiz, I think 4 questions or so, and then we'll open the floor for Slido for questions if there's time, inshallah ta'ala. If you can send a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So the quiz is live right now. So you can log in. That way we don't have to wait. As soon as the discussion is done, we're going to start the quiz right away, maybe only a few seconds. So if you are interested in participating, join the quiz right now, right? Log in so that we can get started and we don't have to wait too long, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you. So last week we started with the question about what kind of expectations do we have from religion? What do we expect religion to do for us? Do we expect religion to solve everything in our life? Do we expect religion to have all the answers to life's questions? Or do we have a very simple understanding of religion? That, look, religion is just about making me a better person. It's just about getting to heaven, and that's it, right? The minimal understanding. So we talked about what happened in the Middle Ages. Now, let's go to the second phase, right? If you remember, we talked about we were going to do 5 phases in history of how slowly this question in people's mind came up about whether religion really takes care of our life or not. So we said, first, we're going to talk about the Middle Ages, also known as the Dark Ages. We did that last week. Today and tonight, we're talking about the scientific revolution. The next phase, the next 3 phases will be the Enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution, and then finally we'll move on to the modern age, right? 20th, 21st century. So, the scientific revolution. So when did this take place? So the scientific revolution basically starts from approximately the second half of the 15th century, right? The 1400s. In Italy, pretty much is where the origin is. And it leads up until around the 17th century, so 1600s or so, right? So the start point is around the end of the Renaissance, and the end of it is the so-called Enlightenment, right? Who are some of the famous thinkers at this point? Who are some of the famous names and scholars, so-called scholars, during this scientific revolution? And I'm sure when you hear these names, you'll realize where you've heard these names before, and why most of us probably are familiar with these personalities. So we'll start from the beginning and move towards the end of this phase. So we have personalities such as Nicholas Copernicus, we have Galileo, Francis Bacon, Rene Descartes, and somebody like Isaac Newton. And they say Isaac Newton was pretty much towards the end. Now, pretty much most of these individuals, who are they? They're the ones that we usually end up learning about in grade school, right? Especially when we're going through science class, right, in middle and high school. These are the names you keep hearing. So it's a part and parcel of our public school or secular education. Now, without getting into the kind of theories of why that's the case, I'll let you be the judge of that. And as you'll start to see, as you saw from last week what happened, as you'll see from the conclusions and the results of this age tonight, you'll begin to see exactly why perhaps maybe in the West, in public schools, they want people to know these names, but maybe not some of the other names in history during that time. Okay, so what exactly was happening during this so-called scientific revolution? Well, if you remember, at the previous age, in the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, they slowly started to move away from religion, right? So all of these questions that normally they would answer using philosophy, using metaphysics, asking, recognizing that God was the source of everything, they started to move away slowly, right? And saying, okay, well, does anybody else have the answer? Who else can answer these questions in our life, right? So they say that they moved away from this metaphysical, philosophical, logical way of using our reason and moved towards, this is called deductive reasoning. And they went towards something else known as inductive reasoning, which was pretty much what? Empiricism and scientific experiment, right? To test things out in the world and see what the conclusions are. That's how we can determine what is real, what's not real, what is good and what's bad. So they said that this idea of deduction, right, of trying to understand using your logic and using your reason, using philosophy, this is not really answering our questions, right? The stuff that usually we would go to and have religion solve, it's not solving the problems for us. So we need something else. And because science started to become stronger and stronger, and seemingly or apparently it was answering everybody's questions, they started to go towards science and expected science and the scientific method to answer everybody's questions. So again, originally, whenever there was an issue, whenever a question came up in the minds of people, the source, the cause would always be God, right? They'd say, okay, why did God do this? What were the reasons, what is God's reasons for doing something like this? So you can think about if people, let's say, dealt with some sort of disease or they were asking about why the planets were in orbit, they would say, oh, we know that God is in charge of everything. We know that God has a plan and a reason. So let's start from God and then work our way down to see if we can figure out why God did this. That was the previous means. But again, people started to move away from religion because of what took place during the Inquisition, during the Dark Ages and the Middle Ages. And they started to look elsewhere, said, who else can solve our problems? Who else can answer our questions? So then what happened is they started to cut off from this religious understanding, right? So what happened then is God pretty much moved on. God was not the start or the supreme good behind everything. It wasn't, what's God's supreme wisdom behind everything? When science started to get involved, they said, look, we're not going to outright deny God. Of course, they couldn't do it at that time. They said, look, God is not the supreme, all-knowledgeable, wise individual. He's basically like a watchmaker, right? He created the world, definitely. He's the first cause. We don't deny that. But after he creates the world, then he puts other things into motion. There's a system in place that God has given us, and we can judge and understand reality based on that system. What's that system, right? Well, first of all, this whole idea of God being this kind of watchmaker or winding up the cosmos and the universe and letting it go, this is something known as deism, right? Deism said that God started everything out, right? He's the first cause, but afterwards he left it alone. So he doesn't really get involved in our life, right? He's not involved in the day-to-day affairs of people. And a lot of the founding fathers of the United States, right? Jefferson or Washington, Adams, people like that around that age, not specifically them, but many of those founding fathers who were part and parcel of writing the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and all of these things. Some of them were practicing Christians, but some of them were actually deists. This is why this idea of separation of church and state, of religion from politics, started to come into the minds of people because they never believed that God really cared about what happened in this world. They said God cares about the higher realms. He started everything off. He only cares about what happens in heaven or hell. He doesn't really care about what happens in government. He doesn't care about what happens in this world or earth. So we as human beings, we have to solve those kind of problems. So now you can see how slowly the minds of people started to change. Before, they would used to ask questions to, let's say, religious scholars, the church. The church used to be the source for all their issues. Then, because of what happened in the Middle Ages, they moved away slowly from that, and they started to go towards scientists. Now, what was the foundation for scientists? They said, look, we have a system in place. And what is it? It's mathematics. Mathematics is our foundation. It's the system that God has put into place. We can solve everything using math. Math is that strong foundation which lets us perform or do science. We can do experiments and we can figure out what's going on in this world. We don't need God to tell us what to do and what is true and what is real and what's not real. So when we have a question about, let's say, gravity, about the laws of motion, going to, for example, Isaac Newton, people like him, they said, look, we don't need to look to the Bible. We don't need to look to the church or the Pope. We have the tools within mathematics and within the laws of science or the theories of science and the scientific method, and we can figure out all of these things. God is not in the picture anymore. So you can slowly see exactly what was going on in the minds of the general public, right? So of course, the corruption that took place before, the Inquisition, all the pain and suffering they had to deal with at the hands of the corrupt individuals in the church, that was one factor that caused them to move away from religion. And then, of course, you have these thinkers, these celebrity thinkers, who, again, were practicing Christians. They were religious, but their understanding of religion wasn't really great. They didn't really understand God very well. So they thought that God doesn't really get involved in the day-to-day affairs of people, and they could figure out everything using math and science. So this basically was what led them, those individuals, those scientists, as well as their followers, the general public, they began to think that, look, we figured out the secrets to the natural world. So that's why you move away from scholars, religious scholars, knowing the truth of reality and the secrets, to now scientists becoming the ones who know the secrets about the world. And you can start to see the parallels about what happens in our modern world right now. But the modern world discussion, we have a few more steps before we get to that. Inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay. So, now that we have that in mind, so what's the result here? The result is what? The major result is people moving, they're moving farther and farther away from religion. So atheism is obviously becoming stronger. Even the people who are still holding on to religion, they are now going towards science more than their actual church or the actual Bible or their religious scholars. They're going towards scientists to answer all their questions, right? Even the practicing ones. And this was basically the start of what? The major question and that major debate and fight, that fire. These sparks started to get ignited and started this fire of what? The debate and the argument between religion and science. The same question which plagues you and I right now in this day and age. The same question that people of faith, Muslims, have right now of what do we do when we have religion saying one thing and then science saying something else. You start to see the inception of this fight happening right here during the scientific revolution. Now, this is pretty much an overview of what took place. Again, we skipped a lot of stuff. We didn't go into the details about, what did Copernicus do and Galileo, Francis Bacon, and Isaac Newton. But again, you can see their whole point was moving away from philosophy, from religion, and towards science answering all of our big, mysterious questions about reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, how could they do something like this? How could they not realize that God is in charge of everything? That God and religion is the way that we get the answers to everything? How could these so-called scientists, how could these Christians, these religious, scholars, how could they be so dumb? How could the lay people move away from religion, right? Why didn't they recognize that science and religion, they're not fighting with one another? How could they be so ignorant? This might be something that comes into your mind, and it comes in my mind as well, right? When I was researching these things, especially when I was in high school and in college, I'm thinking, how could people think like this, right? It's so dumb. So the first reflection, the first akhlaqi reminder that we want to give to ourselves. We, as a people, love to criticize and insult one another, unfortunately. We see faults in other groups. We see other people acting ignorantly, acting arrogantly, and then we start attacking them. We start insulting them. Let's look at some of the verses of the Quran which address this topic and some of the narrations from the Ahlul Bayt which try to remind us that this sort of insulting and arrogant action on our part is not going to lead us to success. It's not going to make us open-minded, and we won't learn anything at all. Let's first look at Surah Hujurat, right, chapter 49, verse 11, where Allah says there, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, He starts with, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, right? Hey, mu'mineen. Those of you, who's He addressing now? The people who have iman, right? That's who He's starting with. La yaskhar qawmun min qawmin. One group of people shouldn't be doing maskhara, shouldn't be ridiculing another group of people, right? Asa an yakunu khayran minhum. Why? Because it's possible that they are actually better than you. You're making fun of them, but they could be better than you the whole time, right? And then He says, wala nisa'un min nisa'i. And a group of women shouldn't be ridiculing other women as well. Why? Because it's possible that a certain group of women, maybe, let's talk about our own group, right? We might be ridiculing women of other faiths and saying, oh, how could you not practice what the Lady Mary was doing? She was wearing her hijab. You can see it in every picture. Why don't you practice that? Right? You sort of make fun of women of other faiths, where Allah is saying, be careful. Why? Because asa an yukunna khayran minhunna. Because their women might actually be better than our women. So maybe we don't want to be making fun of them like that. And then the punchline. وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Do not criticize your own nafs. Or in other words, your own selves. Don't criticize yourselves. Now, upon first thought, and the second part, of course, is وَلَا تَنَابِزُوا وَلَا تَنَابِزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. And don't call each other by like these critical nicknames, right? Don't give people these names in order to make fun of them. So what's interesting here is normally when people translate it, they say, don't make fun of other people. Okay, that's obvious. But the wording that's used here in the Arabic is do not insult, or do not criticize yourselves. Now, why would God say, don't criticize yourselves? Isn't this whole verse supposed to be about criticizing other people? Why is he saying criticize ourselves? Don't we want to be self-critical? So let's look at some narrations that might help us understand what perhaps Allah means over here. The first one, or the first two narrations we'll look at, come from our fifth holy Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam. So the Imam says here, كَفَى بِالْمَرْءِ عَيْبًا أَنْ يُبْصِرَ مِنَ النَّاسِ مَا يَعْمَ عَنْهُ مِنْ نَفْسِهِ. It's enough that a person, that you and I, we have our own defects, so as to look for the weaknesses and defects in other people that we are actually blind towards. Meaning what? We've got our own problems, and when we end up looking at other people's issues, what we're ending up looking at is that the problem that we see in somebody else, the reason we're looking to the defects of other people, it shows and reflects that we have that exact same problem within us, but we're blind to it. So if I'm looking at somebody or a community and I'm saying, they're so ignorant, they're so arrogant, they don't know anything. What the fifth Imam seems to be saying here is that actually what that shows is you and I, we have that problem, and Allah has made us blind to it because of our arrogance. We have that defect, we're blind to it, that's why we're accusing other people of having it. Or in simple English, it takes one to know one. We've got the problem, but we're criticizing other individuals. So what does the Imam say instead? He says, look, Man bahatha an uyub an-nas falyabda' bi nafsi. Whoever wants to start talking about other people's problems or issues or deficiencies or their faults, let them start with themselves. Okay, so fine. If you say that another group of people, they're ignorant, they don't know what they're doing, okay, fine. Well, guess what? Start with yourself then. If you think somebody's being ignorant or they're being arrogant, then start with yourself. Say, okay, where am I being ignorant? Where am I being arrogant? Because based on what Allah is saying, don't criticize yourself. Based on the way the Imam seems to be explaining this concept, it's that if you can see a default in somebody else, that's because you understand if you can see the defect, if you can see a fault and a problem in somebody else, that means that you have it first. So fix it within yourself, and then you can start talking about other individuals, hopefully, so that once you're self-critical and you learn how to fix it, then you can start helping everybody else and not just insulting other individuals. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We'll go through maybe one other point, and then I think we will move on to the quiz, inshallah. So let's think about this issue itself, right? About science and religion. Now, many of you might be thinking, come on, how could somebody who believes in God, who believes in a holy book, how could they start taking scientific principles and putting that over the religion, over God? It doesn't make sense. Well, let's think. If we can start accusing other people of that, maybe you and I are victim of that spiritual disease ourselves. Think about it. What would you and I do if we saw some scientific evidence that seems to contradict what the Quran or the Ahlul Bayt have said? Let's give a simple example. Think about right now, we know in Islam, obviously, any sort of intoxicant, any sort of alcoholic beverage or anything alcoholic is haram, right? Even one drop we can't consume, right? Now, what does modern science claim? That a glass of wine a day has multiple benefits, studies have shown. For example, they say, there's antioxidants present, there's anti-inflammatory properties within grape wine. it helps prevent heart disease. Some say that it helps prevent cancer. There's all these different studies that are out there. On one hand, we see science claiming that there's all these benefits to alcohol, but Islam is saying don't do it. It's bad for you, not even one drop. Now, of course, many of us want to claim that, yeah, we're putting the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt ahead. Okay, fine. But science seems to be contradicting it. What do we want to do there? Now, many of us know that, okay, Islam is going to go on top. Fine. Okay. Now, what if we have something else, though? Think about a lot of us who, in the discussion of other types of drugs, people who argue that things like marijuana and weed, they should be legal. They should be halal in Islam. Why? Because they say, look at the scientific benefits, right? It'll open your mind. It'll help you focus. All the benefits that they claim to say that it can help with depression and stress. So they say, look, because of that, it should be halal. So what are they doing? They're taking all the scientific evidence and they're trying to put it over Islam and the Quran. Another discussion. We see that there are certain, what we call points of Islamic medicine, that if you drink this drink, if you have this much vinegar, or these fruits, or this seed, or in some narrations it says things like camel urine, for example, right? This will protect you from sin, protect you from these kind of illnesses, etc., etc. All these kind of medicinal types of narrations. Then science comes and says, all that stuff is nonsense. Now, I've been in many discussions where people say, well, the Quran and the narrations, they're for that time, they're not for this time. So what is that? What's happening there is that we're putting modern medical science above the Quran and narrations, right? Assuming that those narrations are actually authentic, which we're not going to discuss right now. The point is this, that you and I can have that same disease of putting other ideas, other ideologies, putting science or anything else above the Quran, above the Ahlul Bayt, and above Islam and above Allah. So before we start accusing other people of abusing and not understanding God's, all-encompassing religion, we should start with ourselves and examine our own religion. What do we actually believe? How deep does our own faith go? Look at this narration from Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. And then after this narration, we'll end and we will go on to the quiz. Then after the quiz, we will open up for Q&A. So he says, in this narration attributed to him, عَلَى الْعَاقِلِ أَنْ يُحْصَى مِنْ نَفْسِ مُسَاوِيُهَا فِي دِينٍ وَالرَّأْيِ وَالْأَخْلَاقِ وَالْآدَابِ فَيَجْمَعُ ذَلِكَ فِي الصَّدْرِ أو في كتابي وَيَعْمَلْ فِي إِزَالَتِهِ. He says that an intelligent person, a rational person, a person who's actually using their intelligence, their intellect, they should examine themselves equally in terms of their religion, their deen, their own personal opinions, their ra'i, their morals, their akhlaq, and their manners, their adab. People should, look at all of these different things in their life. After they do that, they should collect and record all of these 4 different things in their heart, or to write it down in a book and try to make sure they remove all of those weaknesses. Why? Because perhaps we might believe one thing about religion, that, God has wisdom of everything. But when we get to maybe our own opinions, maybe it's not in line with our religion. Or when we get to our morality, we're actually not morally in line with what God wants. Or when it comes to our manners, our adab, our etiquette is un-Islamic. So Imam is saying we need to equally examine everything to make sure that we practice what we preach and we practice what we believe. So we ask, hopefully, Allah, through the wisdom of the Imams, to help us act upon these wisdoms. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So next week, we are going to continue on with the history. We'll move on to the next phases, which are the Enlightenment, Industrial Revolution, and the modern ages. And we'll also go through a few other reflections about what happened in history and how we can take lessons for our days, our daily life right now. So let's open up for the quiz, inshallah, and then we can move on to see if there's any questions in Slido. We have some interesting names today. I think we should just get started, right? I don't think anybody else is joining. Let's go. Oh, I spoke too soon. Hashtag go Corona. Very interesting. Do you mean like go Corona or like go Corona? It's tough to tell. You can't really figure out your emphasis. Let's assume that you want Corona to go. Right? Maybe next time you can go away Corona or leave us Corona to make it a little bit clear. Unless you think that maybe Corona is a blessing from God to help us work on our own spirituality, then you might say go Corona because it'll help us spiritually cleanse ourselves. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. Oh, okay, let's see. 13 people, not bad. Let's go. First, where is this quote from? Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. All right, so who said it? Where did it come from? I'm giving a lot of time for these questions. Oh, I think there's some technical difficulties. So, the correct answer is none of the above. This is not found in any Islamic source in that sense. This is coming from the Bible, right? This is a quote from the Bible that we had given. And if I'm not mistaken, this was in Matthew, right? Was it Matthew? Sorry, yeah, Matthew 22:21. That's where it came from. So it sounds really prophetic or Islamic, but obviously we said this is in terms of lifestyle, and this was something that we can take as an example. These are wonderful passages from other holy texts as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. What is possibly meant by this verse of Quran, which is in chapter 17, verse 84, Surah Al-Isra? It says, say everyone acts according to their lifestyle, right? قُلْ كُلٌّ يَعْمَلْ عَلَى شَاكِلَتِهِ. So this is one we covered a while back, right? So let's see if you can remember what we discussed there. First option is people outwardly act according to their inner lifestyle choices. Second, any way that a person acts is acceptable to God. Third, any way that a person acts is acceptable to God as long as they're being true to themselves. And fourth, no one can be punished for acting according to their own personal belief system. All right. So I think we talked about all these different points, but what specifically were we discussing about this verse? Hasan, very good, right? So we said people outwardly act according to their inner lifestyle choices. Now, any way that a person acts is acceptable to God as long as they're being true to themselves. Well, if that were the case, if a person, let's say, I don't want to give like dark examples, But if a person truly believed that God wanted them to murder Shias, right, as we have these extremist sects, that they're being true to themselves, but they believe that evil is a good thing to do. So obviously that's not going to be acceptable to God, right? So it's not about that. Next, people who believe in a minimal or part-time version of religion say what? A, God doesn't have full powers over every single aspect of our lives. B, religion is only concerned with what we have to do to get to heaven, like a good person. C, science can answer all of our doubts about God and religion, or none of the above. So if you remember, when we're talking about how people were getting involved with science and moving away from religion, what was happening, right? They started to change their idea about what God did in our life, right? So was it that God doesn't have the ability to do anything? Or was it that God just doesn't care about this stuff? Or was that, no, it was about science can solve everything? What exactly was the focus of when somebody says that they believe in part-time Islam or a minimal understanding of religion? What was the main idea and focus that they had? It's a confusing one, trick question. So, but the majority of you got it right, right? So the people of the minimal part-time religion say that religion is only concerned with what we have to do to get to heaven, like being a good person, whatever that could be, right? Pretty much it's only about being a moral person. So things can change with time and place. They don't, science can answer everything. It might, but they don't necessarily claim that. Some of them claim our intellects or what society says will tell us, answer all of our doubts. And they do not believe that God doesn't have full powers. That's something that other ideologies believe. Okay. Okay, last question. What were the results and consequences of the violent and intolerant actions of the church during the Middle Ages? Was it that people began to disregard, ignore, and abandon religion? People began to disregard, ignore, and abandon philosophy and metaphysics? Science began to replace God and religion with math, science, and the scientific method, or all of the above? So we talked about these different things, but what specifically were we talking about in the Middle Ages, right? Because some of these things happened before the Middle Ages, and some of them happened afterwards. So what specifically were we talking about here, right? Was it the relationship with religion? Was it with philosophy and metaphysics that was the issue? Or was it more about science, math, and the scientific method? What was it exactly that made people, or what were the results of what happened during the Inquisition and the corruption of the church and all these different things and the rising of the scientific method slowly? Asante. I mean, obviously, normally when it's in all of the above, it's all of the above. But all of these things took place. And inshallah, we'll, as we go forward, as we saw today with the scientific revolution, as we'll see in the Enlightenment and the other movements, and to the modern age, you'll start to see exactly how things started to get more and more towards away from religion, away from philosophy, away from metaphysics, away from logic and reasoning, towards math, science, and the scientific method. And then we'll see more of that, inshallah. Asant, congratulations to the movie star, or the actor, I guess, or the character. Oh, actually, no, there's a four-way tie, right? Asant, good job to Jafar Tiger, Jabir, Qambar, and everybody. Asantum. I don't know if, do we have time for a quiz or not? I didn't put my timer on today. Or sorry, for the questions. If there's no questions on Slido, then I guess we end, right? Yeah, nothing on Slido. Okay, so then we will see you next week, inshallah. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ahli baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. إلهي أذن البلاء وبرئ الخفاء وانكشف الغطاء وانقطع الرجاء وضاقت العرض ومنيت السماء وأنت المستعان وعليك المشتقى وعليك المعول في شدة والرخاء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أولي الأمر الذين فرضت علينا طاعتهم وعرفتنا بذلك منزلتهم، ففرج عنا بحقهم فرجا عاجلا قريبا كلمح البصر أو هو أقرب يا محمد يا علي يا محمد. اكفياني فإنكما كافيان وانصراني فإنكما ناصران يا مولانا يا صاحب الزمان. الغوث 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 أدركني 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 الساعة 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 العجل 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 يا أرحم الراحمين بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين.
زيارة ورثة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث علي أمير المؤمنين ولي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأسلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرذي الزكي الحادي المهدي. وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا. وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبي بكم موقن بشراء ديني وخواتيم عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. زيارة علي أكبر. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن حسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. زيارة شهداء كربلاء. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه، السلام عليكم يا أصفياء الله وأوداءه، السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الزكي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله، بأبي أنتم وأمي طبتم، وتابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم، وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. زيارة حضرة عباس. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما، وأقدمهم إيمانا، وأقومهم بدين الله، وأحوتهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسه، فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام، فنعم الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر، والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه، الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجميل والثناء الجميل، وألحقك الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم يا أئمة المسلمين، علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان، سيدي الأمان الأمان الأمان. السلام عليك يا شريق القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتيه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.